I'm Dr. Uche, a practicing physician who's been coaching others to write and publish their biographies since 2013. The first autobiographies I brought to publication were for my dad and granddad, and those took more than 5 years and lots of mistakes. On this channel, I will show you the tools I use to perfect the process so that you can have your biography done in 6 months or less without the delays and mistakes. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends. Let's dig in. Have you thought about this? Many of us have, because growing up, we saw our parents manage often with less than we actually have now. Maybe you grew up with a lot of stuff around, but I didn't grow up with a lot of money around. My parents were very educated, expected us to work hard and do well, but no, there wasn't money floating around. They had to figure out a way to make do with not very much, but we were fed. I was never hungry, not for one day in my life. And school fees were paid. And we had basic things we needed. We had clothing, we had food on our table, a roof over our head. But yet, this is something you may not have thought about that you can actually bring out in writing that biography for a family member or a memoir. Stay tuned. I had never actually thought about it in a straightforward sort of way until my brother mentioned it. He said he was going to ask for a financial, or I think he said economic biography. And I said, wow, I've never thought about that, but that is important and could be useful. So, talking to your parent, how did you manage finances during your time? Are you one of those who had to take care of others? So, I mean, outside your immediate family, your children, your spouse, did you have extended family to take care of? That was the case for a lot of people, my parents' generation, during their time in that part of the world. So, if you had to take care of other people, how did you manage your income, your salary? A lot of these people did not inherit money. There wasn't anything floating around. Their parents were aging and didn't really have retirement funds. Actually, my parents survived a war. So my Igbo ancestry means that my people in the southeast of Nigeria survived a war. They were defeated in a civil war. And so a lot of them lost everything they had. So they went from being wealthy or average to having nothing. And these people now had children heading to a university around that time, as in the case of my parents. And there was no money for them to go to university, talk less of money to do anything else with. So somehow they had to dig themselves out, right? From zero, totally from nothing. And somehow they made it work. How did it come about that you were able to take care of your children and take care of others? Siblings, cousins, help others go to school? How did you manage finances? Did you have a philosophy of spending this much, saving this much, and giving this much to the extended family? Did you have a cutoff like I can't do more than this? And how did you come up with that sum of money? How did you save for a rainy day with the economy going up and down? And many of us live in somewhat turbulent economic times. So, what lessons can I learn from how my parents managed finances? So, this is the financial, the economic part you can pull out and see how that could apply to your life. Yes, not everything will apply, obviously. Times do change, things do change in society, and maybe you're in a different place than where your parents were, but still you may find there one or two or three things you could learn from how they handled finances. So be sure to ask this question and be sure to include it not only in writing the biography for that older relative, but also in writing your story. You could say, At this time in the 1990s, things were really difficult. I remember that I heard people were struggling, but in our home, this, and that. And later on, I would ask my dad, how did you manage? How did you and mom manage things at that time? And he explained da 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 da. So there are many different ways to include this in such a way that it sheds light on how things were for your older relative, but also gives you life lessons you can extrapolate to your own life even now. What do you think? Is this something you've thought about? Is it something you've heard your parents or grandparents talk about? And how can you apply this in your life? Tell us in the comments. I'd love to know. And I'll see you in my next video.